What's going on? You're Fanatic here with
more.
Welcome to episode 44 of The Drive. It's been a really big week this week. The last week, the last round of footy was
closest ever until 64-0.
Yep.
Sorry.
Like it was just full of comebacks, a thrashing. It was all over the place. Don't get me started with that song, that ad. But yeah, the round that was pretty wild. We've got Vegas now being announced. We've got a new team being announced since our last episode. Brandon Smith's now signing with the Rabbitohs, so we've got a lot to cover. We'll start with the Perth Bears joining the NRL.
I'm very excited. I'm excited. I've been calling for the Bears for a long time.
2027 they're coming.
Can we start next year?
No.
Why?
They've got no one.
I told you what they could do. The the expansion draft, man.
No.
Yes. That's the way of life.
If you don't know what he's talking about, check our Instagram. We did mainly Mort did a thing where you get half the squad protected, who he thinks each team would protect if they could only keep half their side, and then the other half would go unprotected for the Perth Bears to be able to pick from. So they can't just take superstars.
Like if you have Melbourne, for example, you're taking Su'Fa'alongo, you're taking Colin Kamifa, you're taking Jonah Pezzett, you're maybe taking Nick Meaney, you know what I mean?
Because the Storm wouldn't necessarily protect them because they've got so many other players as well.
Yes, exactly.
So if you want to see more of it, go check on our Instagram, the Aaron Fanatic. But yeah, Perth Bears joining the comp. I think they're going to already have a bigger fan base than the Dolphins when the Dolphins joined.
Yeah.
The Dolphins were a bit more unique because they just had people joining because it was a new team for the first time
and Uncle Wayne.
Yeah, Uncle Wayne.
But there's a but here though. They didn't land the big fish.
No. So they got the Hammer. Hammer's done.
He's done bits there, but no one expected him to be like this. They had Munster locked up. They had Brandon Smith locked up, and they just didn't get him over the line. Remember?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the Dolphins they grew their fan base with like the fins up, and
it's an easy marketing campaign because Hammer was doing that even at the Cowboys.
The first win that they got against the Roosters
was so
a big deal.
Yes.
And
Kafusi smacking Brandon Smith in that very first game. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
He got
Kafusi.
smacked.
Finn Diesel.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dolphins, they had like a lot of bandwagoners jumping on their fan base.
Where Bears were a bit more established.
Yeah, Perth Bears, they're going to already have... There's so many North Sydney Bears fans out there that were just waiting for this moment for their team to come back. It is in Perth. It's going to be based in Perth, but there's talks that they're going to have some North Sydney Oval games.
Which is great. I'm a big fan of suburban grounds, but North Sydney Oval was pretty...
It was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic. And they're playing a lot of games there anyway, so you know it's going to be in good nick.
Yeah. So they're going to get... I don't know how much they're going to struggle trying to get players to come to Perth, but like Perth's doing bits as well. Like
getting WWE, the Perth Wildcats are kicking ass.
Yeah, the WWE,
Wildcats,
UFC.
Yeah,
like Perth is starting to become
like a hot spot.
Yeah, like it's always been Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney. Perth is kind of like now the fourth biggest, I'd say, in the country for capital cities.
Yeah, Adelaide before that, in my opinion. But
Adelaide. It's Adelaide or Perth, but I feel like Perth has been...
I'm leaning towards Perth, yeah.
Especially for sport now.
Yeah, like I said.
So, I think it'll do well over there.
Yeah. I can't wait, mate. Like, like I said, man, like I have about 3 or 4 mates like just message me like how pumped they are for the Bears, you know?
Yeah, my dad was a Bears fan. They got kicked out of the comp. I think he started supporting Knights because he couldn't support the Bears, obviously. And then when the Rabbitohs came back in the comp, he started going for them. But he was a Bears fan as well, so he might switch, like have.
Well, if you're OG Bear, you have to stick with the Bears, I reckon now.
Yeah. So it's gonna be cool to see. They've waited 25 years.
It's pretty iconic, the Bears, their logo as well. So
yeah,
I'm very happy for them.
Who do you reckon they should target as their marquee signing? 2027. Okay. I don't know who's off contract. If realistic, who's going to go there? Because like you can't just Cleary. He's probably not.
Fairlingham?
Yes.
I would say a marquee, but he's on the come up. Jai Gray.
Fair.
Because he's a workaholic, right? And you know what? You need enough. I think to win a ruck, you need a gun forward. I'm not necessarily saying Papenhuyzen, but like a big enforcer. If he's available, I think Tino will be like one of my first picks. You know, young, he's a leader already, and he's a gun. He's got that dog in him, you know. He's a mongrel.
Maybe like a Carrigan.
Carrigan's not a bad shout.
I don't know how long people are locked up at their teams for, but
this is why I've done the expansion draft, because you're all set then.
So yeah, check out the expansion draft if you're interested in that kind of stuff.
But yeah,
we'll move on from Perth Bears. We'll move on to the Vegas teams have been announced for next year.
The miders of mid-teens, man.
So we've got the Bulldogs versus Dragons. We've got Cowboys versus Knights, and we've got Hull KR versus Leeds Rhinos. There's now only 5 teams that haven't gone, and I think they're just going to do 4 new teams again next year.
Yeah, and then the next team.
So there's Tigers, Titans, Storm, Para, and Dolphins. I think you just do Tigers, Titans, Storm, Para, and leave Dolphins because they are the newest team.
Yeah, unfortunately, first team best dressed. You know,
Yeah.
the more every other team's more established. So.
Tigers, Storm, and Titans are all like 3 of the newest teams in the comp as well.
Yeah, but
like,
Dolphins are legit
Dragons.
Dolphins are 3 years old though.
Yeah, no,
so.
I'm saying they've kind of left them till last, except Para, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I think going into the year after, it'll be Storm versus like realistically 3 pretty meh teams. Like Tigers have never been good. They're starting to get good, but
you won't want to do a Storm Tigers game as an advertisement for your game in Vegas,
especially when 64-0 happen on the weekend. That's fun. We'll cover that later. But Titans, like no matter who Storm versus, there's a big chance for a thrashing.
I do Eels to be honest, because they sometimes get them. I'll be going for the Eels.
And then Tigers, Titans.
Yeah.
But this year, so we've got Bulldogs, Dragons, and then
I like that.
And then Cowboys.
I rate that. The Dragons, Dogs, that's no problem for me. But the Knights, Cowboys, I can't be asked about the Kalen Ponga Cup.
Yeah. Bulldogs, Dragons, their fan bases are pretty side by side.
I'll say I got some mixed opinions on Dogs. I'm not gonna go off on them, but there's some very good fans and some very bad fans.
Yeah, like the Bulldogs and Dragons, they kind of have a rivalry in the fan bases, but it's like a healthy. It'll be cool atmosphere. I'm excited to see the Bulldogs atmosphere in Vegas because there will be like the Belmore parties, but in Vegas. Oh, it's gonna be.
I'm just worried.
It's gonna be.
I'm hoping it works well, but I will just wait on the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
But like I said, they got some of the most passionate fans and some of the most annoying fans. I say that. That's not too nasty at all, I think.
No, like
because there's some really good ones. Like you got Amelia and Winston, I think set the standard in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got some other fans that like to throw bottles.
Yeah, like there's the Bulldogs fan base. They've got like when the Canberra Raiders drummer
got bashed.
He was like it's a minority of the fan base, but it's like can be a vocal minority.
Maybe that's
but
the
the majority of the Bulldogs fan base, and I've loved watching them over the last year and a half, especially. The passion that they have compared to any other team is unrivaled.
I'll say this: they've done a lot of good things for the game, like that Easter thing, and selling out Canberra. Like, dude,
like they're overtaking.
They travel.
They're overtaking the Viking clout.
Row.
But yeah, like Bulldogs. Imagine the Belmore party style things, but in Vegas. That'll get the streets of Vegas more interested in the NRL because they're seeing all this.
Yeah.
So I like the Bulldogs going over. And yeah, the Kalimpong Cup, nice Cowboys. They've gotten rid of the women's game. What do you think of that?
It's unfortunate, but 4 games in one day is way too much, in my opinion.
What if they took like a 9s game then?
How long does a 9s game go for?
9 minute halves.
Not a bad idea.
I feel like if you want to get like...
Yeah, you know what? If you're going to do another women game, you have to do a nines game.
Like, because there was complaints... Okay, there's
I'm sorry, I'm very sick, guys.
He's dying. There's 2 separate complaints that the women had.
2.
One, the fact that there's 4 games, it was too much.
And England
in one day. And the second was that it was 94-0. Which was... You've never seen that in NRL. It's only international footy that gets those kind of scorelines. But it was 94-6. They scored at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, last try wins.
Yeah. They those were the two arguments. Having a nines game with Australia, New Zealand, I think would be the way to go.
Or Australia versus the rest of the world or something like that. Hey, hello, lads.
No, because like New Zealand, they rival Australia. Other teams, whether it's men's or women's, don't rival Australia as much. There's like some Samoa and Tonga, they on their way up, but less in the women's international scene that's coming. Women's international is mainly Australia, New Zealand. But the men's has like a bit more of a variety, and more like possibility for the tier 2 nations to beat teams like Australia.
Yeah. They're not quite there, unfortunately, with the women's game, but I think the women's game as a whole is usually getting better.
But I think to take the women's game, showcase it over there, have like a nines game. I think that would like give the women time in Vegas. Won't make the day too long. I think that's probably the best medium. I don't know, maybe I'm like, why are we doing only a small game for the women's? But it's better than nothing.
You can't replicate 94-6. That's not going to help anyone.
Yeah.
Doesn't help the Fiends, doesn't help England, doesn't help Australia. That does nothing.
Yeah. So I think it's a shame that the women's game has been cut this year. I think next year I would like to see them announce that they're going to do the nines for something like that, like to make it not the day goes too long and then still gives women a chance over there, showcase them a bit. Because the nines game that could be more exciting than the 80-minute games.
You might get like
for the Vegas
3 tries each in 18 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah, like a lot of passing the ball, a lot of tries scored in a short amount of time. I think that could excite some random Americans that decide to show up and give the game a try. I think that'd be a good showcase of the women's game. Vegas. Okay, so what else do we need to cover? We need to talk about
Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith joining South Sydney Rabbitohs effective immediately.
6 weeks he's going to be fit. I'm very excited because Mamo's going to be back in bat 5. So you get Mamo there for the first week, and then Brett Smith coming off the bench in the second when he gets back the week after, mate. That makes me very excited. Gives us a lot more punch going forward as well.
So what does this mean for Havili?
No disrespect to Havili.
I like Havili.
I like him as well, but Brandon Smith does the exact same role, but a million times better.
Okay.
That's not a dig against Havili. Just Brandon Smith is that good.
Yeah.
When he's on.
He has been a bit quiet since leaving the Storm.
Yeah, he's done nothing at the Roosters.
So, also, the fact that he's going from Roosters to Rabbitohs is interesting.
I'm surprised we got him this year. I thought they weren't going to let us have him.
Yeah.
But I'll take him. That rattled with injuries, and then now we're getting them back, and look what happened last week with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Jamie Humphries kept us in the game, and AJ's back this week, so he's going to get a hat-trick on Taruva's head.
Yeah.
So, we're getting back to shape, which is alright.
We've got the NRL Fanatics Cup coming this week. Tigers versus Rabbitohs, my team versus Mort's team. I'm excited. It's the game I look forward to in the year, to be honest.
And Molly's plus still was not forward.
No, Tigers won the last Fanatics Cup at Campbelltown.
We're gonna try and get a promo out.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do some content for it, but
at least a good vlog.
Yeah,
at worst.
It was a great event. I think Tigers winning and the way we won was beautiful. One of my favourite wins over the last few years.
You're just saying that because of how salty I got.
Yeah, you got so salty. He was pissed. We got
mad. We got rorted. That's fucking fine. We got rorted.
But yeah, I think it'll be just as close this time.
I think it's gonna sound weird. I give South a 13+, but not a smashing 13+, if that makes sense.
You think South's gonna? So you Latrell.
Latrell, AJ back. Humphries is kicking us.
Yeah, because you're battle with injuries like all year. Where are you coming now?
11th, and you guys are 10th.
Yeah. Tigers. We might show up now that we've been pumped 64-0, or we might continue to.
It was a bashing of a 64-0 though.
Yes.
So I
thought they'd break a record.
I thought, no disrespect to Terrell May, he was good, but look where all the damage was done, right down the guts.
Yeah.
I don't think a winger scored a try for the Storm, did they?
Did they not?
I believe not. So it says a lot where they got the damage done. Like Blore killed him, Katoa killed him. I think Bronson Garlic had his best game to date.
Yeah.
Munster and it felt like Munster and Hughes down the middle. I don't think a winger scored.
Papenhuyzen, all in 16 minutes. That's fun. His first try, I only heard it on the radio, but when I saw a replay, wow.
The kick and kick again was amazing.
Josh King, Jerome Hughes, Nick Meaney. Josh King, Jerome Hughes, Nick Meaney, Ryan Papenhuyzen, Nelson Masaf Solomona, Elias Katoa, Cameron Munster, Bronson Garlic. So yeah, no winger scoring. That's actually wild.
And Meaney was the only outside back, correct?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's madness.
So,
like I said, down the middle. So I'm hoping your middle forwards are super fatigued.
like I every time I look up, they'd score. I'd be sad for like a couple minutes. Look back up, they'd be making meters and then score again. And I'm like, what? Like the possession wasn't even, I don't think, that different. It was 56 to 44 possession.
That's a bit of a shock.
Like they only had 6% more.
But that's a lot in rugby league, though.
Yeah, but you'd think 64-0 would be more. Like we had the ball enough to do nothing with it, and then every time they had the ball, they would score.
Yeah.
It was.
I think what I noticed when I was half watching, because it was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
The gaps between your defenders are a bit too big. If they thought they were going to go sideways, you guys thought they were going to go sideways, and we went right down the guts and just didn't adjust whatsoever.
Yeah. So our points difference was looking so good. We were at like plus 20. You know how long it's been since Tigers have had a positive points difference? It's been years. And then we're round 9. We have a plus 20 points difference. We're actually looking good. We're in the middle of the ladder.
And in the butt.
And then we get pumped 64-0.
In the butt.
Like every year we have a thrashing like that. It's like once a year. Like 4 years ago we did it against the Storm. We lost like 66 to 18. Then 3 years ago we lost 72 to 6 against the Roosters. 2 years ago we lost 74-0 to the Cowboys. I don't remember the biggest thrashing we had last year. It was like a lot of 50 and 40 points against us. There was like 7 weeks in a row where we conceded 40. But then this year we've now been beat 64-0. So hopefully that's it for the year. That'd be good. But who knows? There might be another one. Every time Tigers try and give me hope, they do something like that, and it's like it feels like I'm getting stabbed, shanked.
I thought what's crazy with the South wins though.
What?
I think all our wins have been close this year. Dolphins were close. Broncos was close.
Your points difference is negative 62.
Yes, because we got.
So you've had close wins, bigger losses.
Yes, basically that's it. We got touched up a bit by the Sharks. I think we lost by maybe 20 maybe or something like that. And like look at that Roosters game, we only just won that as well.
We'll talk about the Rabbitohs game now. Latrell Mitchell, he had, was it 2 try-saving tackles?
Yeah, 2. One on Mariner.
Yeah, and one on
Papenhuyzen. Like I didn't know Latrell can move that fast.
Yeah.
And just take him over the sideline. And who the hell can stop Papenhuyzen one-on-one, let alone a fullback stopping him one-on-one?
Yeah.
That was mental.
And then the 50-meter field goal, walking off with no reaction. And then, like, that it was 49-meter field goal. Benji did 50. Benji did 50 at Campbelltown. But the 49-meter field goal from Latrell, just...
Ice cold.
Like, Benji's hit the crossbar and went over. His cleared it.
His was about, I reckon, 3/4 or probably 7 meters. So 3 meters away from the dead ball line, so about 7 meters over the bar at least,
yeah,
before it hit the floor.
So
and I thought it was funny. He didn't even I don't even think he put everything behind it either. He's like, oh yeah, like you know how you say to follow through your foot.
Yeah.
He just like, oh yeah, just casual.
Yeah. He nailed it.
No, like I was on the side. I'm like, he's got the distance, but is it just from the side? Like it's just staying the same height the whole way.
Yeah.
Oh, he couldn't go any more down the middle of the posts.
Yeah, it's getting a bit dark, but we're gonna try and push through. And then the ending, I thought was funny as everyone's like, "There's the spirit of the game, the spirit of the game."
Play the whistle. Play to the whistle.
It's bad sportsmanship. I think it was funny. Firstly, it was compared to Joey Manu's try a couple of years ago. That was different.
He outright lied.
He pretended he had a torn hemi, and then people were like, "Oh, we should check if he's good. We shouldn't tackle him." Like I've seen Turbo run into the line, start walking because he's got a torn hemi, and then they're like, "Oh, okay," and then they grab him, but they're not full tackling him. So it's like you can't you don't want to tackle someone.
You can't compare him.
But this is like
he's waiting to get tackled,
and it's like if he did that 40 meters away, and then ran 40 meters, you're 1 meter away from the line. You shouldn't be just like, oh, okay, he can just dive. So it's like, why not? Why you didn't put a hand on him? Nothing.
They're waiting to get tackled.
Walks away. Yeah,
Walters was like right there. I'm like, all right, Walters there. The game's over, and I just started cheering just to rub it in. Some people behind me were getting the shit to me because I was doing these ones. If you can see on the camera. Oh, mate.
I saw as soon I popped up on my Insta from Hectic Fred's reaction. Every time something funny in a game happens, I see his post. Yeah. But like that I saw that try and I started dying. I
was more celebrating than dying. It's really I'm laughing more now than I did when it happened live.
Yeah, it was almost funnier than the Bulla Sewer try, which we actually haven't covered on the page. The Bulla Sewer try, because Magic Round, we haven't I don't think we've uploaded a video since. Maybe we have. Maybe I'm forgetting. But that Bulla try that he scored because Sewer knocked the ball on, I was dying. I was pissing myself laughing. I don't think I've ever laughed more at a moment in footy than I did at that moment. Because not only did he bomb the try, not only did it cost him the game, it was Bulla that ran 105 meters to score it. And I thought, in my head, the entire time he's running, that I reckon Sewer did score and we're just running for the sake of it. Just because I compared it to the Burgess Brooks thing from 3 years ago in Golden Point. I thought, because when we're like, okay, maybe Brooks just won us again, and then Burgess scored, so he ran all that way for nothing. I thought the same thing was going to happen. So I'm like, go Bulla, even though I don't think you're scoring, go Bulla. And then it got awarded, and then I saw the replay, and then I saw it hit his knee, and then I saw Bulla pick it up, and then I saw Bulla run the whole length, and then I laughed my head off. I have never laughed more. It was beautiful, chef's kiss, perfect.
I say this, I don't know how you thought he knocked it on. It was a knock on every day.
No, because like
your head went straight back there.
Because I saw he had a 3-on-0 overlap.
No, he bombed it. He bombed it when he was diving. I'm like, bloop.
Yeah, no, he had a 3-on-0 overlap. I'm like, oh, okay, they've scored. He crossed the line. I'm like, whatever. And then I saw Bulla running. I was like, oh, okay, go Bulla, why are you running, go? And then, yeah, I just wanted to glaze about that real quick.
I think it's too dark now.
We'll try and quickly cover some, we'll save the Origin stuff, but we've
got some really creative and really cool posts coming up.
Yep.
I wish I could tell you, but
I'm going to tell them.
Okay.
We have a plan for the games 1, 2, and 3. Game 1, we'll be doing a draft for the all-time Queensland teams. We've done drafts before, but that was when we've had no followers. We've done an all-time Queensland draft, but we're going to do it again. It'll be different games because
DCA's improved since then.
Yep. So yeah, we're going to do an all-time Queensland team draft. We're probably going to do an Insta Live for it and then post the graphic afterwards. And then for game 2 for the Perth one, instead of doing the New South Wales, we're going to do something different. We'll keep that one on the back burner. And then for the New South Wales, the Sydney game 3, that's when we'll do their New South Wales all-time draft. Also on Instagram Live. So stay tuned on Instagram Live. If you're not following Insta, the NRL Fanatic,
the time is now.
_NRL _Fanatic. Go watch. Go follow there so you can stay tuned for when we do this live. Because I think we'll do it on Instagram.
And there might be one more post if there's enough time for it.
Yeah.
The snub team.
Yeah, we're gonna pick our team soon. Plus the Fanatics Cup stuff coming soon.
If we get time.
We're gonna try and pump a lot of content out this week, especially. So follow the Insta if you're not already. Okay. Quickly, we'll cover up some of the other games that happened. Dolphins won 20-16 against the Eels.
Mate, Farnworth and Moses are just leading these teams into any type of hope. It's crazy.
Yeah. That was a decent game, but then we had the Knights versus Titans.
The choke jobs of 20-0.
Yeah.
I'm not even surprised with the Knights. The dependent on Ponga. He's done nothing this year.
I thought Knights would snap into gear, so I tipped the Knights.
I don't remember who I picked.
I'm pretty sure we both tipped Knights. But I thought they would snap into gear, and then they did for the first half hour, and then blew it. But yeah, Titans with a 20-point comeback. Then we had the Broncos Rabbitohs game, a 14-point comeback, and then that crazy finish. Then we had Bulldogs beating Raiders 32-20, also a 20-point comeback.
At halftime, and Crichton said no.
Crichton's insane try. Then we had Warriors Dragons, Warriors winning 15-14 thanks to a Luke Metcalf field goal. So that was an intense game. Then you had the 30-all the draw Panthers Cowboys.
When no one wanted to get a field goal.
That game was edge of my seat stuff. The Cleary, I don't even think got a chance to kick.
He got one chance and the pass was rubbish. He got charged down.
Yeah. Mitch Kenny copying a lot of hate from running.
Yeah, they sent it right. I'm like, why are you going blindside? You're Cleary.
I found that very weird. But the Cowboys, they butchered so many field goals, and so it was funny. That game also had the part where the audio cut out in the crowd. So it sounded like Rugby League Live.
Yes, me and Flaxy had a great conversation about that.
Yeah.
If he misses this, I'm a Dutch astronaut.
And then at the first draw of the year, and then I'm like, Storm Tigers, we're down. Papenhuyzen's now scored a hat-trick. I'm like, maybe it's the round of the comebacks. Maybe we can win. No, we got pumped 64-0. So that's fun. And then Sharks beating Manly 30-14. That one's actually just a normal game. But crazy round of footy.
Actually, I think they were actually up 14-0. I think Manly might have came back. Didn't they?
Yes. It was 14-0 at half-time. Then it was 14-14. And then Sharks ran away with it at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy round. It might be the craziest round of all time.
It was great. I loved it.
Just 3 comebacks.
The dramatic finishes.
The draw.
The
thrashing.
Latrell is him.
Latrell, Papenhuyzen, Stephen Crichton. It was... Yeah.
Jackson Purgey had a great game too.
Yeah. Tino had a really good game.
Oh, mate, everyone's cut pig into Origin form, man. That's
especially the Latrell. We will quickly talk about the fullback situation for the New South Wales. We'll leave everything else. We'll leave the New South Wales halves, Queensland halves, whatever. New South Wales fullback. What's it going to be? There's 3 options. Edwards, Teddy, Papenhuyzen.
Well, some people even try to say Chaboyevich and have Crichton and Latrell in the centres.
If you're doing that, you're choosing to leave out Papenhuyzen. Like, Turbo should not be considered for fullback. He should be considered for the team, obviously. He should. Centre is actually a tough position as well. But you've got Bradman Best, Stephen Crichton, Latrell and Turbo.
Yeah.
And then maybe Burton somewhere in the utility as well. Like, there's
Best.
Yeah, at the Best as well. So it's a pretty tight thing. But fullback, there's Teddy, who's in form. The incumbent Dylan Edwards, who's not necessarily in form, but did his job at Origin last year.
Yeah.
Papenhuyzen, who I think is slightly more in form than Teddy, but Papenhuyzen hasn't got the experience in Origin that Teddy does. But last time Teddy was at Origin, he was running like 250 metres, but a lot of it was running sideways and not really helping.
It was an effective 200 instead of a...
So it's like, you could literally go anyway, and it would like... I want Papenhuyzen. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think Papenhuyzen, if he doesn't get his chance, will be the greatest player, eligible player, to not play Origin.
You're forgetting the best one of all time,
Who?
though. John Sutton.
You're going to say John Sutton. No.
He
John
is, though.
Papenhuyzen,
He's the king.
Papenhuyzen is so much better of a player than John Sutton.
Don't you dare...
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're very wrong.
Papenhuyzen, he is a freak.
He's not the king, though.
He's a freak. 2 years ago, he should have played Origin, but he got injured.
But he's not the king.
That's a lot. But Papenhuyzen... It's not Sutton. No one says King Sutton.
He's the king.
No.
Yes.
But
everyone in
Papenhuyzen,
our family does. So you're wrong.
If there's anyone that you think is a better player that was eligible for Origin that never played Origin, than Ryan Papenhuyzen.
John Sutton. There you go.
Tell me in the comments.
It's John Sutton.
It is not John Sutton.
It is John Sutton.
It is absolutely not.
He's so versatile.
Absolutely not.
He's been disrespected in Origin. It's so annoying. You're wrong.
I think he has the record for most games played without playing Origin for an eligible player.
He's a gun. How did he not make the 14 or back for his spot? Or 5'8"? He shits on Josh Reynolds.
When would he have made it?
Sometime.
Maybe as a forward. I didn't see him as a half.
He can play 6. He can play lock. He can play back row. He can play centre. He can play hooker.
There's probably a time in the middle, like in the mid 2010s, early 2010s.
There was multiple occasions where you could have picked him,
but
they were so wrong to do so.
I don't like people say Jared Croker, but like
maybe 1 year
like,
you'll pick Croker.
who even comes close to someone as good as Papenhuyzen that hasn't played Origin?
I just told you.
Besides Sutton, anyone? Besides Sutton, anyone that comes close to Papenhuyzen? Anyone?
I'm just trying to think. Ash Harrison played Origin. You all of a sudden
stop thinking Rabbitohs.
I'm just trying to think.
I know you're thinking Rabbitohs. Stop thinking Rabbitohs.
Because Ash Harrison was bloody good.
Yeah, and played 20 games, 15 games. He played Origin.
I'm just trying to think. Luke Patton, no, he wasn't that good.
See, Papenhuyzen, miles better. No one else comes to mind.
Sutton.
No. Papenhuyzen or Sutton, put in the comments. I think I mean that.
I don't care. The versatility of Sutton would be perfect for Origin.
But yeah, I've said it for years. I've said it for like 2 or 3 years now. He is the greatest player to not play Origin, and I still don't think he'll get his chance. Like, what's it going to take? How good does he have to play to get his spot? If they pick Edwards, who hasn't been great this year,
I can tell you why they could pick him.
Because incumbent, he played well last year.
I don't care about the incumbency thing. I don't read that much into that.
What?
I'm usually leading into the form thing, usually.
Yeah.
But in the case of I'm worried about Teddy and Papenhuyzen, they get in the way of Cleary. Edwards knows Cleary's game inside and out, so that's why I'm sticking with Edwards.
Yeah. There's so many...
I think Pappy is more likely to work compared to Tedesco, because he can... Pappy on the back is shaped where Tedesco needs to get his hands on the ball and ping it around the middle of the field. And it gets right in the way of Tedesco. Right in the way of Cleary.
Yeah.
So...
It's
to me, it's Edwards and Pappy Barmara right now.
Yeah. You don't think Teddy at all?
I couldn't pick him. I think he's had his time. He's done a good job. Move on.
Yeah, he's still got like 5 years in him, I think.
I reckon be lucky to have 3.
Teddy's...
Poo. Overrated. Bastard. Retirement home.
He's the best fullback since Slater.
I would disagree, but okay.
Who's better than him?
You know what I'm going to say, so just you can say...
What, Latrell?
No!
I was going to say. Since Slater?
Yeah.
Turbo? Because Turbo hasn't stayed. They were the same time!
Oh.
Inglis isn't even since Slater.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you were just saying, like, in general fullbacks.
No, since Slater.
Okay, sorry, yeah. Well, that's a
then
lot.
It's Teddy, right?
Just. I'll give just to Teddy.
Over who?
Edwards.
No, Teddy.
He's overrated, yes, I know, thanks.
Anyway, okay, so we're going to put our Origin teams on Insta. We're going to put our all-time Queensland team, the Fanatics Cup. So just keep watching the Insta.
There's going to be something nearly every day for next week, maybe.
Even if you save our posts, comment on them, like them, because they're doing really well.
To insult me, because I know I will insult you back. I will bite. And then I tell you you're wrong. And then they prove why you're wrong.
And then they fight back. Anyway, that's it. It's getting really dark.
The big moon's going to get us.
Yep. Okay, so comment below. Do you think Papenhuyzen's a great player, eligible player to not play Origin if he doesn't get his chance, if it's John Sutton? What do you think of the round of footy? What do you think of the Vegas? What do you think of Perth Bears? What do you think of Brendan Smith joining Rabbitohs? Put it all in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. See you more.